if you would, please introduce yourself to the people as you
Okay.
see most fit.
All right. So my name is Alaetra, but in the city and in the creative ecosystem, if that's what you want to call it, I go by Blvck Lae or Lay, and I am. I guess I would consider myself to be a creative producer, a curator. I'm a journalist. I'm a digital marketer. I'm a lot of things. Even when I say that out loud, I'm like, damn, have I really done all that in my life? But it's true. So that's who I am. Creating is one of my passions. I love it dearly. It's something I can't ever get away from. Even when I go in the straight and narrow, it's always a little jagged. Oh, born and raised, Charlotte. One of the last few left. Okay, Charlotte, North Carolina. Get it right. Okay.
Look, you got to let them know where you're from,
Oh,
okay?
for sure. Okay.
That was going to be the
That's
next
my blood.
question. How did you get started? Where did you get started with this whole creative wave? I want to know about your professional experiences as well. But as you already mentioned so many times, that creative is intertwined. So how'd you
Yeah.
get started with that?
Oh my gosh. So ever since I was a child, I have always just had like a creative spirit. I knew that I wanted to do something in media. What specifically, I didn't know, but I knew I wanted to be something in media. I didn't start to get creative until I was probably like an adolescent, and me and my older sister. Hey, Tyra, I love you. But me and my older sister, we shared a room, basically all throughout our lives, all throughout until we went to college. And we always just had each other to play with and entertain each other. And so we would pretend to be news anchors. I would write short stories. We would play with dolls and stuff and like make our own storylines. And so that's always kind of been the thread throughout my life. When I was in high school, and really from elementary, middle, and high school, I've played an instrument since I was in the fourth grade. When I got to high school was when I learned how to actually write sheet music. When I got into live performances, and that kind of followed me into college. When I got to college, I did not join the band. I wanted to join the band at A&T, but I didn't, because I was like, well, I'm a freshman, and I really want to have my freshman experience. I don't want to be walking to the band room at 3 o'clock in the morning. So that wasn't for me. I decided to end that part there. And my first 2 years in school, this is so crazy because I was thinking about this earlier, but my first 2 years in school, I was actually an elementary education major. And I really, really thought that was my passion because I was a teaching fellow in high school. I have family that works for the school system, and they always kind of reared me to like be a mentor, be a teacher, be an educator. And so I thought that was who I was supposed to be. It wasn't until that second year when I was in education, and I was like, this is not me. This is not me. I just felt myself like kind of busting at the seams, like it's something else in your heart, and you got to follow that. And that's when I changed my major to journalism. So I majored in journalism, and I concentrated in multimedia journalism. And so that gave me a taste of e-media, PR, marketing, making my own news reports, and just all of that. And during that time was when I started my own blog. And so I would go around Greensboro. I was a concert chaser, and I would go and like support these like community festivals. I would support the big concerts. I would go and just anytime they brought like a celebrity to campus, I tried my hardest to be in that number. And so ASAP Rocky and them came
Okay.
probably in like 2012. And I was operating my blog that same year. And that's how I got the name Blvck Lae, because they were like stylizing their names a certain way, and they were replacing the A's with the B's. And I was like, damn, this is cool. And I just felt like I wanted to be part of something. And so my pen name for the blog was Blvck Lae. And that's how she was born. Ever since then, I just have always been like making my own content or telling a story some type of way. And so, I mean, it's a lot of years have passed between college and now. So it's been a road, but I've always like been a creative.
How did you keep your head down, not want the quote unquote clout that came with Twitter, social media, all those things at that time, and know that it was going to pay off or lead to really what your purpose or what your gift is, what contribution you have to make to society?
Yeah. Ooh, that's a very good question, because the day and age now is just so different from when we were in college.
Yes.
Like, we definitely had some amazing culture at A&T, and you could just feel the energy on campus where everybody was just kind of hungry to like stake their claim there and like have something as their own. So I had friends who were like in the art scene there, but I never considered myself to be an artist. So I always put myself on the back burner. I've always just humbled myself and been a student. I've never thought that I've known everything in the world or I know how to do everything. Like, I don't have a problem taking that back seat. But I feel like when I left college, came here to Charlotte, the landscape was so different, right? There were people who were already very established in their creative careers when we were in school.
Yes.
They had been doing it since 2009, 2010, even before that. So when I come home, I'm like, I'm happy to be home. It's like, I'm grown now. I can like do my thing. Like, I'm back. I know what I'm talking about. I got my degree. I'm like feeling like that. But I'm like, really, I don't know anything. This is not the scene is not mine. Like, I need to humble myself and come in and see what they're doing. Because I had already been watching what they had been doing from Greensboro. I'm seeing people have shows and this person is hosting and like this person's doing this. All these great things are happening. So I'm like, I can't just walk in here like this is my house anymore. Even though it's my home, this ain't my house. I need to take my shoes off before I walk in here. I need to make sure that I'm leading with respect, that I'm coming in and saying, hey, I admire what you guys are doing. I would love to be part of that. And so I've just always kind of had that attitude. I think that now being a little bit more accomplished comes with that confidence. I'm able to stand on my own 2 feet. I'm able to stand in the things that I've done and stand behind the things that I've done. But I don't think I'll ever stop being a student. I don't ever picture myself going viral, having 100,000 followers. Like, those would be great things for the optics, right? Of course, you go to somebody's Instagram, they got 100,000 followers. Oh my God, they certified. But if you go to the page, if you're looking at the content, like, what is the value that they're bringing? And I want anybody who looks at me, meets me in the scene, sees me on social media, whatever. I don't care about having a lot of followers. I don't really give a shit about that. Now, if I happen to gain more success and more notoriety and that comes with it, okay, cool. But followers don't make me. That having people like rah, 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 it really doesn't make you. Your integrity is what makes you. And I feel like my humility and my willingness to just be a student, I'm willing to just take it in and be a sponge and appreciate something first before I try to put my stamp on it. So that's where that comes. That's the long answer, but that's where it comes from.
Nah, that's really dope. I like the analogy and metaphor that you used. This is my home, but it's not my house. I gotta take my shoes off. Wait a minute, you gotta learn the boundaries. You gotta learn the rules of what exists within this space.
Yeah.
What were some of your experiences that speak to, I'm gonna use this term called starving artist,
Okay.
if you will?
Oh my gosh. I'm so glad you asked me that question. Well, first of all, I have worked just about every type of job under the sun to pay my own bills.
Yes.
I'm currently doing that right now. Even if I look at how my career was 12 months ago, I didn't think I would be in this position. But I know at the end of the day, I have to take care of me. I can have these dreams. I can have these great things I want to accomplish. If the paper is not right, if I can't pay my phone bill, if I don't got no gas in my car, I ain't got no food on the table, I ain't got no roof over my head, I'm scratching. I'm surviving. I'm trying to get it. Like, that's number one priority. And so even through those trying times where when I first moved back to Charlotte, I was working a call center job. I was calling people, trying to get them to donate blood. If you know where I worked, then you know what I'm talking about. But it was so like literally every day I just knew this cannot be it for me. I'm willing to work a job that gives me sustenance and gives me peace of mind in terms of, am I alive? Am I comfortable? Can I provide for myself? Okay, great. Now I can build on top of that and try to create a source of income from my creations. But I'm not even full throttle with that. Like, I've never had a time where I could fully pay for my own bills through my creativity. Would I love to have that? Yeah, I would love it. But I've always feel like I just been in that scratching and surviving mode, trying to make this part of my life okay so I can focus on this part of my life. And it's so trying. But the only way that I stay motivated, and I tell my older sister this all the time, she gonna crack when she see this, but I've always told her, because the fact that she's the older sister and looks up to me still kind of trips me out a little bit, because I'm like, girl, you older than me, I look up to you. But I always tell her I'm more afraid of not trying than I am of failing. I'm not embarrassed by having to take a step back. I'm not embarrassed about not having money. I done had zero in my bank account many months, many years. I'm not ashamed of that because I can get through anything. She'd be like, oh my God, you got 9 lives, girl. I don't know how you surviving. I'm like, girl, I don't know either. But I always tell her that desire inside to make something happen, to make myself proud, to at least try it, is stronger than my fear of failure. I don't care about failing. I failed before. I'm going to fail again. As long as I'm breathing breath on this earth, I know I'm going to fail again. And I know I'm going to try again. Period.
You're making it very difficult for me because that was gems right there. I could just drop the mic right there. Whole point is to be transparent and authentic, and that was it, right? Mm-hmm. Wow. Everything that you mentioned there resonates with me. Being broke, still going after it, still trying to figure it out. Having people look at you in a sense of amazement and astonishment. Are there times where you feel like you should be getting paid your value and your worth through your creativity?
Yes, to the first part of your question. Yeah. I feel that where I am in my career right now and some of the things that I've accomplished and just the way that I've moved in this ecosystem, I demand to be paid for what I do. I demand to be paid for what I do. Because going back to the previous question, this is a question about my survival at certain points. You're not about to play with I'm sorry. I can't allow you to play with my money because you are playing with my ability to be comfortable. You are playing with my integrity. You're telling me that you don't value me. Now, have I done certain things in terms of just working with others and we had to barter? Maybe the payment was late. Okay, I can work through any level of understanding. That's fine. But you're not going to tell me that you're not going to pay me. We need to have something be exchanged. If I'm working my blood, sweat, and tears, I'm giving you this good brain power. I'm giving you this good creativity. I'm giving you this listening ear. I'm giving you this heart. We having sessions, we talking, we doing whatever. We need to have some type of exchange, even if it's not money. Do you have a service that you can give me? I'm giving you a service. Is there something you can do to make my projects go further? Something that I need at this time? Let's talk about it. But to just simply ask me to do anything for free nowadays, I don't think I'm too big to do anything for free. I'm willing to work with you, but to flat out say, I want you to do X, Y, Z for free, and then in the same breath say, I think you're dope, I love what you're doing, blah, 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 that doesn't gel for me because I'm willing to say, hey, I think you're amazing at what you do. I think you're dope at what you do. I can't provide money at this time. However, I'm going to give you a list of resources. I'm going to give you whatever. We can work something out. I'm willing to work like that. That's fine by me. So I would just prefer, if I can't get the money, let's work something out, okay? Let's work something out. That's where I am.
Collaboration and equity exchange, I don't think that that's far-fetched. I think that's very reasonable, especially with where we are now, the amount of time that we put into the crafts that we majority of us in the creative space in Charlotte are multifaceted, because we kind of have to be, right?
Yeah.
You don't know which one thing is going to work, and so it's best if you're well-rounded and have more to bring to the table and offer. Now that we're talking about Charlotte creative space, I mean, that's really what we've been talking about when it comes to you. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, you're born and raised Charlotte. You have deep roots here, well-connected, well-respected. What could be better? Thank you. Shout out to you and Javarian for including me inside of a gallery. Like, that was huge. That was huge. It was really eye-opening and a great opportunity to expand. So I appreciate you for that.
Of course.
What could make some things better here in the Charlotte creative space?
I would say just a couple things that I've been seeing over the last couple years, or just some pain points. Because Charlotte is changing, right? It's very diverse in terms of financial backgrounds. We're diverse in terms of race. We are now more diverse in terms of gender. We are very diverse in terms of sexual orientation. I feel that when we are thinking about having events or producing whatever we're going to produce, if it's anything that involves community, we need to make sure it's representative of the community. We're not going to be able to have every single race and everybody in every tax bracket. We won't be able to have that amount of diversity. But we need to have the mindset of wanting it to be as impactful as possible, and you can't have a proper impact if you are going to be impacting at the same point. You driving at the same point. You hitting the same target audience. We are only paying attention to this narrow view. And I think once we open that up and create more safe spaces for everybody to come in, because I know, like, we look at this community like, this is ours. Don't come in here. We worked for it. We being scrappy. Stay back. Like, I get it. We want to protect what's ours. But we have to allow for some newness to come in. That's the only way we get new ideas. You don't get any new ideas surrounding yourself in the same environment by the same people. It's something that comes in that sparks that. And we can only continue to have that spark. We can only nurture that flame by being more inclusive. We just have to do that. Personally, I'm tired of showing up to events and seeing some of the same people. I'm tired of seeing only men at some events. I'm tired of events, like particularly shows, concerts, whatever you want to call it, having all men on the bill, but you want the women to show up. You want the bisexual people to show up. You want the non-binary people to show up. Because everybody speaks money. If something interests you, you're going to buy that ticket. I can't see what your race is behind Eventbrite. I don't know. I don't know who you are. But are you showing up in this space? Do people feel comfortable to come in this space? Does it look cliquish? Does it look like only a certain type of person can come here? This event is for a certain type of person. It's only for if you're in this friend group. And like I said, I understand we all have our comfort levels. We all have things that we want to protect. We want to protect our circles. I get it. But we need to turn this into a Venn diagram, okay? We got to start having some overlap here because we can only get stronger together. Like, that's literally the only way this is going to grow. And the more that we resist that, the more people will compare Charlotte to Atlanta. They'll compare Charlotte to New York. They'll compare Charlotte to Raleigh. They'll compare Charlotte to Houston. Like, Charlotte will continue to be, oh, well, Charlotte was fun, but it's not this. Oh, well, Charlotte was fun, but it's not this. And it's like, okay, Charlotte will never be those things. But what can we do as creatives to create a more inclusive space, to make it more open and attractive for others? That's what we have to do. Oh, and one last thing. We have to be serious about what we want Charlotte's identity to be. We have to take that serious, especially as people who have been here for a while, people who have roots here. It's not our sole responsibility because it's only a few of us left. But we have to get serious about what that identity is, because the more we don't care about it, the more we don't think about how our work shapes that identity, other people can walk in for the taking and say, no, Charlotte is this because I said so. And it should be, no, Charlotte is this because we said so. It should be, we're never going to be a monolith, but can we get to a place of a collective vision? I think that's possible. I think it's totally possible.
Thank you for that. I just a great appreciation for how you're able to deliver and speak on things. Number one,
long time coming.
That's what I was about to say. So let me preface this with I am working on my relationships with people,
Okay.
no doubt about it. However, I haven't spoken to you in at least a year, right? Probably
been
going
a
on
little
about 2
while,
years,
yeah.
right? There are times where I ask that question to people and I feel like I'm kind of crazy. So the fact that I've asked the question and multiple people have asked the question, I don't think I've ever heard of anyone generate, especially on the spot, so I appreciate you for this, a solution to the identifiable identity problem within the creative space of Charlotte. And you presented a solution that's like, yo, I can connect with that because I haven't seen those things. And yeah, we do have to explore other options. We do have to explore better ways of thinking. But you literally think it's possible. I think that it's possible.
For sure.
Do you know of people who are doing the work behind the scenes to bring that vision to life? What the vision that we have to collectively choose, first of all. But are you in those circles? Are you a part of the conversation with people who are really moving the needle forward within that conversation? Does that even give I feel like you're speaking from like a realistic optimism type of standpoint. So that's why I'm asking you.
I feel that sometimes I'm a part of those conversations. Other times, let me back up. Sometimes I voice how I feel in those conversations. So sometimes I'm one of the people that's speaking. Other times, I'm somebody that's observing. I'm absorbing what's being said. I'm listening to the perspectives. That's all cool and dandy. I do feel like there are some people who are becoming more open about, okay, I want to change. I want to do something different. This has not been working. I need to change my perspective. There are people who are having those conversations, but they're having them with themselves first, which I think is great. Talk to self and then talk out. But I don't know. I don't know if, I can't speak on how others feel about making that change, but the few that I do know who are having those conversations, they're trying to either change what they've done that's contributed to that in the past. So when you enter a scene in a certain way, you're like, okay, this works, but then you get a reputation for being that thing, and you realize I was being closed off, I should have done it this way. You can actively make a change from that moment. You can do that. And some people are trying to do that. I respect them for that. I don't know anyone who is, I don't know anybody that's completely closed off from it. I'll say that. But we're not all at the same level of closeness to being open. Like, we're not all prepared to start actively making that change. I have to check myself sometimes, like, wait, you going to the same places and you seeing the same people. What are you doing different to show that you want to be involved in these other things, that you are seeing what other creatives are doing, that may not be on your radar, they may not be as big as so-and-so. You can enter that space, and that's some type of validation. You don't know what it does to another person to see, like, oh my gosh, so-and-so showed up to my event. Oh my gosh, like, that does something to people who don't feel nearly as experienced. It's like a veteran showing up to, like, it's like a basketball Hall of Famer showing up to a JV basketball game. Like it's great. Like, it makes them feel like, okay, somebody's watching me. They care. Like, they really care about what I'm doing. What I'm doing is important. I'm getting the necessary eyes. So even if something doesn't change in that moment, it's the beginning tides of change, and I think that's healthy. But I do know a few people who are actively trying to make that change, and I love that. I'm not gonna name drop them, but I love that.
I thought about shouting out a few. I don't want to do that either because you never know who's actually
You never
behind the
know.
scenes, behind those scenes,
Yeah.
doing some
And
work,
you just don't want to
XYZ.
miss anybody. You know
And
what
you
I'm
don't
saying?
wanna
wanna-
miss anybody.
You don't want anybody to feel slighted, like, oh, I wasn't mentioned. Because I mean, we all have an ego, right? We all feel like they should be saying my name to a degree.
Absolutely.
But let's not even name drop. The people who are doing the work, shout out to you. The people who are not doing the work, I hope that you come around. I'm not here to say what you should and should not be doing, but we have to be the start of the change. We have to.
I was about to drive into my interpretation of everything that you just put down.
Okay,
Because
let's
I felt like
go.
I don't want to go there because I
Okay.
feel like that can be cyclical in conversation. You know what I mean? Like very
I see
taboo.
what you mean, yes.
So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna
Okay.
fast track it to the next question.
Okay.
What does real Black equity look like inside of Charlotte?
Real Black equity.
Excuse me. Let me change it. Let me open that up a little bit more.
Okay.
Real Black equity when it comes to Charlotte, the creative community, and beyond. You mentioned a few other major cities and how Charlotte can be compared. That happens often.
Yeah.
And maybe it happens often because we either lack an identity or people are just aware of what it is. And as you said before, we don't take it as serious as we should. So that's the vantage point that I'm asking from.
Okay.
What does Black equity look like within the community spaces that we've been in and beyond who have influence and impact within and without creative community?
Ooh, this is a good question. I feel like it starts with, first on an individual level, I feel like you need to take your services and your contribution to this creative community serious. No matter if you think it's small fries, large fries, however you want to put it. You have to know that there's value in the work that you're doing. Have to know that. There may not be a day where somebody comes and says, you're the one. We love you. This is your ticket to success. Like, the likelihood of that happening is very unlikely, but it could happen. But I think on the individual level, it starts with valuing what you bring to the table. It also comes from directly supporting the creatives that you can reach out and touch. Like, we always talk about this 6 degrees of separation type thing. Oh, so on and so on, whatever. And so ultimately you know that person. And it's like, okay, we can think about that in the grand scheme of things. But you probably have 3 to 5 people in your phone right now that do something creative. And if you can't directly patronize them, you can't directly give them money, if you're not ready to invest in their services, if you don't think you have anything to barter, offer, whatever, you can still show them value by digitally supporting those things that they do, whether it's support on social media, whatever, just making sure that what their contributions are given the proper support and proper light of day. You may not give a damn about what Billy Bob food truck got going on. You may not even eat there. But if Billy Bob is your homeboy from the 3rd grade and you knew he always had a dream, throw that flyer up. Hey, my boy is here. Go pull up, go support. So that matters. It's the small gestures that matter. On a larger scheme of things, we can talk about, of course, financially investing. You buying your friends merch, or you bought the merch for somebody who's not in this community and you mailed it to them and they're in a different community. Like, those are ways that you can spread it like wildfire. That's great. But just in terms of, like, when you leave Charlotte and go to these other markets, you should be planting a seed of what Charlotte is. If you hear somebody say, oh, I don't like Charlotte because such and such and such, don't lean into the negative. Say, you know what, you may not have had a good experience there, but I know this place that'll change your mind. I know this place, because I know the owner, I know somebody who cooks there, I know somebody who shops there, works there, whatever. Do your part to change the narrative. You won't change everybody's mind, but do your part to make sure that people know there's value here. That is what attracts them here. They see the things on social media. Is this going viral? Is that going viral? That's fine. But we have a responsibility to make sure that people who are outside of this community, let alone outside this city, know that we have a lot to offer. And word of mouth is still one of the most powerful tools. We talking right now, and we see how powerful this is. So we need to do our part in that sense. Spread positive words about Charlotte. I know at the end of the day, you may have had a bad creative day, or you had a bad interaction with somebody, and this didn't go how you wanted, and you might lay your head down at night and be like, damn, I want to move. And that's okay. That's all right. That's okay. You have to make Charlotte work for you. Work your network. Make sure you're connecting people. It's nothing wrong with connecting somebody. You don't have to be in the middle. You can make it a line segment and be like, listen, you know this and you know this. Y'all should do something. Take yourself out of it. It's okay. Like, it's okay to just facilitate sometimes. And that's how we build strength. That's how we build equity. Because they're going to work together, possibly. And if something turned out well, okay, great. Now I'm going to refer you. Now he's going to refer you. And she's going to refer you. And it just continues to build. It just continues to grow. And that's how we create streams of income. I'm putting money in your pocket. You put money in my pocket. And I'm putting money in your pocket. It's like we all just passing it around. And I feel like that's very inspiring. I feel like we could really have that strength. And so that's what equity looks like to me. We can create these safe spaces for each other. That's great. We can say positive things about Charlotte. That's great. If you have negative things to say about Charlotte, write them in your journal. I'm not saying don't tell the truth, because that's another part too. Sometimes we don't want to look like, oh, I'm talking down on so-and-so. But if you are speaking with someone that you have good rapport with, there's trust there, and there's integrity, there is nothing wrong with saying, hey, this person has great services. However, this was my experience. This could be better. These things were great. And leave them with the information and process themselves. Don't down talk somebody because you had a bad experience or something maybe didn't go right or it was unorganized. We're creatives. We've been through a lot of stuff that's unorganized. We've been through, listen, I'm working on stuff right now that I feel is unorganized. And I'm like, girl, just do it. Just do it anyway. You'll work it out. But we just have to make sure that we are continuing to cultivate respect for one another, and making sure that we're telling the truth, but we're also not slandering other people. We're not cutting other people down at the ankles. Like, we have to just make sure that we're just cultivating that positivity. That's how you get new people into the community. That's how you create strength in the community. That's how you create trust. It's a big word for Charlotte. Trust. We don't have a lot of that. And so trust is a currency. That's how we create that equity. Like, if I know I can trust you, I'm going to always work with you. You'll always be good in my book. That's fine. I'll always refer you. If I feel like I can't trust you, you can't trust me, that takes away from potential opportunities. It changes the trajectory of what could have been. But the truth and trust, two big T words. We got to have those.
5-letter T. Wait, is truth 5 letters?
Yes, yes. 5-letter T words.
Like, I ain't the best at English, but let me do my. Okay, cool. But, oh my goodness, wow.
That was a lot.
I'm telling you, I'm not laying down simple questions, but the fact that you're responding to the questions in practical ways, how people can go and apply these things right now, tomorrow, you know, it's really amazing. That's what's profound to me. So in order to get there, right, you've had to go through some things. You've had to deal with some things. So you were a creative director at a premier streetwear shop. Shout out to The Corner and Amy. I've seen you host one of the biggest events in Charlotte, to be honest with you, Sneaker Ball and a few others, actually. Tell us some more about some of these great experiences. I don't want it to be the Debbie Downer, but yeah, like you've really been out here. You were outside before we were saying outside.
It's
so
just so crazy because sometimes you forget the things that you've done.
Yeah.
Or you don't understand the magnitude of what you've done until somebody tells you how it impacted them. Or tells you, oh my God, this was really one of the biggest things. This was like this, it was that. And I'm thankful for that. So let me just start with that. I'm thankful to have been blessed with these experiences. I'm thankful to have worked with these people. I'm thankful for what they gave me, what they taught me. And I'm just thankful to be part of that movement. But some of the biggest things that I've done and been part of have kind of like been on the fly. Like one of the biggest opportunities that I had in recent years was I did like a short film for Tom's. Shout out to Hugh House.
Shout out to Hugh House,
Shout
David
out
Butler,
to y'all.
Davita Galloway, and I may be missing one more.
Daly,
Okay.
Dave,
Yep.
and Davita.
There we go.
Big three. And that literally came to me just like on the fly, like, psh, I'm passing it to you. And I only got those opportunities because of, like I said previously, I've been a student. I've been respectful of what they've done. I've humbled myself. I've allowed them to use me as a tool for previous projects. And so that's how those things have even materialized. So I had to say that first. But that's how I got the Times thing. Like, it came to me just like, psh, this is the opportunity. When the opportunity, you gonna take it? What you gonna do? And it was a 2-day shoot. Well, it was supposed to be a 2-day shoot. I only ended up having to shoot for 1 day. That 1 day, I was supposed to be working from home. So I had to take my laptop on set, and I'm getting my makeup done. I'm just like, I'm supposed to be on Teams right now. They don't know I'm about to shoot this short film. They don't know. And so I just always found myself kind of like double dutching in the worlds. Anyway, so that came to me on the fly. It was a super amazing experience. I believe it's still on their website, www.times.com/impact. Okay, you can see it, girl. Hugh House gave me that. I always be thankful for you guys. I've also been blessed enough to work with one of my really good, let me just tell you, the girls in Charlotte, no shout to the non-girls, but the girls, we are like a fist. We getting to be like a fist. Some of my greatest opportunities have just about all came from women. The Times commercial came. Davita helped me get that. A really great friend, Megan Wolford. Shout out to you, Meg, the manager. She was working for $1 Billion Baby, and at this time I was like just being scrappy about getting into events and like I want to do this and like I just want to get the experiences. And she was staffing the baby's like big Spotify house party that was over in Nodi, and I got to work it. And I was just like, damn. Now, was it a grueling time? Was it not that glamorous? It was, but I got to be part of the baby's rise. It was insane to me. I still had that wristband. So she helped me get that. My good friend, Whitney Daniels, Sneaker Ball. Got Sneaker Ball because Jerron and I, we were like really in our bag with the podcast and really in our bag with like the scene coverage and stuff. And she was like, listen, I need some hosts. And we was like, I guess we're going to do our thing. And we just did our thing. So that came from a woman. My really good friend, Chanel Nestor, NC Always, the Black Creative Conference. She helped me produce my first artist talk earlier this year. It was an idea I'd had in my notes app for like 3 years. And she didn't know that. And she gave me the vehicle. She was like, hey, you know I'm planning this conference. We're going to have this number of events. This is what you get. You better send me your damn proposal. And I was like, oh my God, I got to actually put my ideas together like on paper and like get it out of my head, get it out of my notes app. Sent it to her and she was like, girl, if you didn't send me that proposal, I was going to be mad. And so helped me get my first artist talk, and that was with Surf Mitchell, one of the biggest creatives I've worked with so far. And that was amazing. It's just so many great things that I've done. I was blessed enough to manage a venue at the Corner. Thank you, Miss Amy, for helping me do that. Produce some amazing exhibitions. You were involved in an amazing exhibition. And it's just all been really, really great. There was one more thing I wanted to say, and I feel like I'm missing it. But it's okay. It's okay. Because there's many things, like I said, you just have it's not time blindness, but it's like sometimes you miss or you overlook the things that you've done. Because for me, I feel like I ain't done shit yet. Like, I haven't done anything. Have I done some things that I've liked? Yes. Have I done some great things? Yes. Have I done anything yet? No. Because I'm looking at my own potential. I'm still thinking about those dreams. I'm still thinking about what I want to see in this world. And so I've been blessed to just have those amazing opportunities. All these people trusted me. All these people saw what I saw. They saw what I didn't see. They saw she can do this. Let's put her in position and see how this changes her to this. And all these experiences have really just helped me just become, that's why I didn't know what to introduce myself as, because I'm like, what am I? And on one hand, I do corporate events, I set up trade shows. On the other hand, I do this. On this hand, I do this. It's like, how many hands do you have? I don't know. But I've just been blessed. That's the word. I've been very blessed, and I hope to be blessed to have more. I hope to be blessed to maintain great relationships, great rapport, because none of that would have come from anything negative. Like, that has only come from me just being humble as I can be and being open, supporting. Like, I had to support things that they were doing that didn't involve me before they involved me. And so I just been blessed to have that. I've been blessed. Shout out to you guys. But I've been blessed. I've been so blessed.
My God. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. And what's wild is I know for a fact that's not even half of your resume.
No.
So
I'll be looking at my resume like, girl, did you really do all of that?
Right.
Do you remember anything from that time? And sometimes I don't think I remember. But then sometimes people will ask me a question or will remember something that I don't remember. And it just puts me in just a state of just thankfulness. I'm just so thankful for that. So that's why I said I'm just blessed that you even came to me with this opportunity. Because even this would not have happened if we didn't have a relationship that started in college and had a bond that started there. And then we went our separate ways. We came back together in this community. And so many things have happened that have put us in a position to work together again. And I'm just so thankful for that. I cannot understate that. Yeah, I'm thankful. I'm so thankful for that.
Likewise. And like I said from the very beginning, genuine, authentic, real vibes, period. That's what I've always gotten from you and your sister and your whole crew.
Listen,
so when
they
people
are
talk about
insane.
the 5 people around you, you know, those 5 people, they still out here getting it too,
Listen,
right?
And
it's
just
more
so
than that. But
proud. I'm like, everybody, even if you didn't know you had that dream, even if you didn't know that you had something in you, I can look around to friends, to peers, people who were peers that became friends, people who were friends that became coworkers, whatever. Like, we just have an abundance of so many talented people around us that if we don't mobilize, if we don't come together, we doing ourselves a disservice. We're only going to be stronger together. You can do whatever you want to do on your own. You can say, I'm the strongest. I can do, I don't need nobody help me. That's a damn lie. I don't know anybody in this world who doesn't need help at some point. Now, you may not need help to walk all the steps from the chair to the door. You might need help getting up, though. You might need somebody to, your shoe untied, somebody tie that shoe for you. They saved you from something. You know what I'm saying? So this is why we have to have community. We have to keep that at the forefront, because all of those opportunities I named came from somebody giving me something, and I gave them something, or I helped them, or they helped me. Like, I didn't get them just because I showed up and was like, I'm me and I'm dope and I deserve this. No, I knew I deserved great things. I still deserve great things. But I can't demand that of others if I'm not willing to give to others. Period.
I like that, period. Well stated and forever stamped. We got to have you back on the show. We definitely got to have you back.
Because listen, you know we could do this all
day.
All
day.
We
On
can do
levels
this
and
all
on tiers.
day.
We can do this for real. Alaetra Chisholm, a.k.a. Blvck Lae with the
Listen.
B in the middle of the BLVCK.
Listen,
Thank you so much for joining us today, and we look
I
forward to the next one.
appreciate it, Josh. I'm so excited to see what this project turns into. I hope this is the start of something amazing for you. I hope it continues to snowball. Let me know how I can help. If you need a production assistant, you need somebody to set the tripod up, let me know. Okay, we can get in the trenches. But
No
I'm just so excited for this. So blessed that you even asked me. When I got the invitation, like I was telling you, like these last 6 to 8 months they haven't been the best times. Some of it's been very dark. Some of it's blackout dark.
That's
like
real. Yeah.
30 days a night.
Mm-hmm.
But it's emails like this, it's opportunities like this that continue to keep that fire burning for me. It shows me there are people out here who are not only going after their dreams, they're willing to and excited to have me help in some way. And I'm very blessed to be here. I'm very thankful for that. I cannot say that enough. That's my problem. Not a problem, but I'll be saying thank you like 10 times.
Yeah.
I'll be like, okay, I ain't gonna say it no more. Okay, but thank you though. Okay, I ain't gonna say it no more.
and that's so real, but that's what happens when you're always serving other people and giving to other people, and people give to you as well. But for me, it's a few things. It's give them their flowers while they still smell them. Recognize them, acknowledge them while they're here. Let them know that they're seen, but literally give them the respect and decency to let people know, hey, this wasn't no fly-by-night job.
Oh, for sure.
You know, there was work that went into it. There's a lot of intangibles, a lot of things that you spoke to. In some cases, either you got it or you don't.
Yeah, for sure.
Right? You know, some adults, they can't be re-raised.
Yeah.
So in sharing these things, yeah, it's just real.
About that.
It's just the real. So, like I said, we got to get you back out here. I'm excited myself to see what the series turns into with conversations like these, with people like yourself. Like, I know for a fact sky's the limit, but I can't fumble this ball. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So I appreciate your, willingness to help and assist, because I'm definitely going to cash in on that. Like,
listen, let me know.
No doubt.
Let me know. If I gotta send you some resources, I know this person.
Yeah.
I don't care about
that's
a
it.
referral. Okay, I'm throwing it out there. I'm probably throwing somebody into an opportunity that they might not even feel like they deserve. But we just have to put others in position. We have to.
Yes.
We have to.
And with that, we appreciate all that energy. So let's keep that energy going and rolling and be able to reciprocate that and just keep building with each other, but building each other up at the same time.
You got it.
All right, y'all. Peace.